Okay, so let's pick up where we left off from the notes. I want to summarize the key shapes of graphs that you need to be aware of to be successful in this class. So what I'm going to do here for each set of axes is plot a generic shape and tell you what the name of the function is and what it should look like. So we have a generic x here. So let's start with the simplest, the most obvious, and that should be a straight line that passes through the origin, which mine clearly did not. So let me try that again. Okay, so that's a linear and proportional. Proportional means if you double one x, you get double y. So in other words, y is proportional to x. You'll see that a lot. Every once in a while, you'll see something like that, which looks very similar. Okay, that's just linear, but not proportional. Okay, so if I have a y and x there, that's basically saying y is proportional to x plus b. In other words, there's some non-zero y-intercept b, so you can't say doubling x gives you double y. We're not going to see this too often, but I just want you to be aware of that. Another common one looks like this. Okay, that's a quadratic. And the key takeaway from that is because of that curve, we're saying y is proportional to x squared. And that's going to come up a lot. So doubling x gives you not twice y, but 2 squared, or 4 times y. So we'll have more practice, or more things to say about that. Continuing on, the inverse of what I just showed you, all right, is if I apply y versus x and I get something like that. Okay, that shouldn't have the little crook in there, but you see that's curving and almost flattening out. You hopefully recognize it as a square root. And the takeaway from that is y is proportional to the square root of x, or y squared is proportional to x. So as in a previous graph, we had y and x squared. Here we have y squared and x. The last one, which is very common, looks like this. It's a hyperbola. Okay, that is y. That's an inverse. And that's telling us y is proportional to 1 over x. In other words, as x gets bigger, y gets smaller. So I'm starting with a large x, I've got a small y. If I go to a smaller x, my y goes up more drastically. The common mistake we see with an inverse is students will want to draw, they recognize that bigger x means less y, they want to draw something like that. That is not an inverse. Okay, this is an indirect. And if you're wondering what is the function there, that's basically y is proportional to negative x. We're not going to see a lot of that, but do not draw a straight line for an inverse. So further exercises will give us practice with this, and hopefully it'll all come together.